Alright, hey everybody. I'm Agnel Angle, because I always forget to introduce myself, and I am going to play the first escapade case. And essentially, if you don't know what that is, it is, like, it's an additional little episode. It's pretty short, and all that it does is it just, like, offers a little bit of insight to characters. Like, it's just a cute, lighthearted little thing. And the first one takes place immediately after the first trial, so I thought it would be appropriate to play it immediately after the first trial. So that's what we're gonna do. Just look at my priceless treasure now. Myself I have scrubbed and scrubbed, but the repellent odor of meat will never be repelled from its resplendent surface again.
But you have it back in your possession, at least. You should be grateful, old man.
Good grief. How dare you? Excuse me, but I'd just like to get at that... the button? We're gonna look it up. I don't wanna mess this up. Zabuton. Okay, we're gonna say Zabuton. Okay. But I'd just like to get at that Zabuton cushion there if I could. Rest assured, you miserable military malefactor, this is not over. Incarceration awaits those who defraud our senior citizen for his priceless treasures. I almost forgot his voice.
Watch your tongue, old man. Mark my words, I won't!
Sorry, Sergeant, but could I just get at that Zabuton cushion there as well?
Oh. I won't go to jail, never! Imagine if I did! The very next day, my boy would starve without the chain of command in place to provide for him.
Using the child to protect yourself. Myself, I call that absolute cowardice.
Oh, really? And who just employed the old, poor, defenseless senior citizen tactic,
Okay, he's got a point.
The only way to find an enemy who's using underhand tactics is with a tit-for-tat strategy!
Poor Ido. Look at him, he's just a little guy. He didn't do anything wrong. Sorry to interrupt again, but I just need to get at that Western-style cushion there on the sofa.
Enough of this insubordination! What do you want, man?
Can you move out of the way? That's all he's asking. Oh, please, don't mind me. Aha! Do my eyes deceive me, or is this the wide-eyed criminal from the trial before? Wide-eyed, perhaps, but criminal, no. What is this unhealthy fascination you exhibit with seating arrangements of others? Why were you peering under the cushion of this upholstered seat? Oh, well, the thing is... Any luck? Did you find it? No, sadly not. I don't think it's here, Kazuma. You really are a liability, Ryunosuke. Hey!
Report! At once! Have you lost something? Is that it? Did I steal it?
Yes, we were just on our way to a party to celebrate my friend's victory here, when... I realized that my university pin badge was missing. A university pin badge, you say? Yes, from my collar here, you see? How? How did it fall off of your collar?
Affirmative! Uniforms must be kept in prime condition at all times. A missing badge is unacceptable!
Thought if I looked around, it would probably turn up somewhere. Like the old tale of the Kaban coin and the steak. A parable of which I am acutely aware. But I've exhausted my search now, really. The only logical conclusion is that someone must have stolen it.
Don't look at me! I don't just find any old metal objects that are irresistible, you know! Imagine what would happen if little Trooper Ido here swallowed something like that!
I'm afraid we'll have to give up, Ryunosuke. Still, if you tell the officer your student number, they should be able to issue you with a new one. Oh no. What's the matter? Don't tell me. Yes, I don't remember my student number. I don't believe it. I mean, this is the second time you've lost your badge, isn't it? Third, actually. Ryunosuke, you're not helping your case, man. If you didn't think you could remember it, you should have made a note of it somewhere. I told you that until I was blue in the face the last time this happened. Ah, yes, I do seem to remember someone telling me something along those lines. It was you, was it? Can't even remember who told you that you needed to remember it. Well, student numbers are 6 digits, Cosmo. Who could remember 6 whole digits? That's what I'm saying, my man. UMA isn't exactly a long-established university, you know. All of our numbers are still rather low. In fact, they only use the last 3 digits. Well, that might help, I suppose. That might help. Ryunosuke, it's only 3 digits you needed to remember. Just 3! Sorry, my brain is such a disappointment. Poor little guy. poor little fella. Yes, well, anyway, young man, myself, I was greatly impressed with you in the courtroom today. Oh, of course him, the one who didn't talk that much. Well, back and forth, whatever. Oh, you mean me? Okay, Kazuma. Oh, you're all ready before you even graduated. Such a loyal friend to this one. This one? What's that supposed to mean? Oh no, I still have much to learn. In fact, that was brought home to me in no uncertain terms only last year. My Achilles heel was spectacularly exposed by my best friend here. Indeed. What? By me? This is the first time I've heard about it. Ryunosuke, you're an idiot. Yes, by Ryunosuke Naruhodo. You can't have forgotten, surely. It was last summer, at the speech contest. The speech contest? Oh, that! Contestants are to take the stage and deliver a public address on any subject they chose. We were competing to give the most compelling and powerful speech. Nils was great, made a huge impression on the audience. Obviously, since I was still a budding student of law, I was determined to win. And sure enough, one by one my opposition fell. When I reached the final at last, I came up against you. Yes, so you did. Not being rude, but when I first laid eyes on you, I thought to myself, this cheeky, wide-eyed no-hoper is out of his depth. He's going to be a pushover. Damn! That's your version of not being rude, is it? He's just being honest. He tells it like it is. Well, I paid for my complacency, because it brought on that humiliating defeat.
Defeat? How were your ranks compromised?
It was a speech competition, my guy. Like, my speech was going very well. I had the audience in the palm of my hand. They hung on my every word. And then, when I came to the very last line. Yes? What happened at the very last line? It was supposed to be a climactic end. Unfortunately, I completely fouled it up. Never!
You mean you stumbled on your words?
Oh, is that a new face? Spectacularly. Even now, I can't believe I ruined it.
Well, what on earth did you say, man?
Oh, he's so embarrassed. Ryunosuke, you'd better say it. I still can't get my tongue around it. Oh, poor guy. Sure, of course. I can still recall it perfectly. It was my favorite memory ever. Humiliating you. What you said at the end of your speech, or rather, what you intended to say at the end of your speech, was this. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers for— What? That's not even the hard part. I swear. Oh my gosh, that's pitiful. Okay, so arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight and the fight for filial piety. I think filial. I'm actually not sure how that's said.
And what went wrong?
What indeed? Myself, I see no problem with the pronunciation of these paltry words. Die in a hole, old man. In that case, old man. Damn, that's a little harsh. Even though I am a hypocrite. I did just say it. Okay, I invite you to say it yourself. Very well then, I shall. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight and the fight for filial pie. It's impossible. Did he say pie? Pile. He said pile. Okay. I couldn't read it fast enough. It clicked before without me. Okay. It's impossible. It's really not. I did it second try. The arise, ladies and gentlemen part I delivered perfectly. Well, yeah. But the next part had me floundering for a whole 5 minutes. That's so funny. Oh, it's so funny. By the end of it, I was on my knees in front of the podium, a blabbering mess. I already know this, but it's so funny. That's so funny. This guy is crying in front of an audience. It's so good. I love it. His poor little pride was so wounded. And that's when the audience started to heckle you. Oh no! Arise! Arise! They were shouting. Hell on earth. But then of course, this man went and delivered his word-perfect speech with a perfect ending. How did it go again? Let me see. I can't remember my student digits, but I can remember the end of my speech I delivered a year ago. So, my dear fellows, the message is simple. Treat your father and mother with respect. Something like that? Your speech sucked. I mean, talk about stating the obvious. The fact is, I lost that speech. Again, if you delivered a perfect speech and then floundered the last, 2 minutes, surely you wouldn't lose because of that, right? Especially if that one was so bad. But at the same time, a lot of it might be how he handled messing up, which was standing there crying instead of just rewording on the spot, because that's what you should do if you realize, I can't say those words. You should just reword it. But, whatever, man. Tongue-tied is the only way to describe it. Well, it is quite tricky to say, I agree. That final fight for filial piety especially. And ever since that day I've had this question whirling around in my head. Why did our forefathers choose such an awkward phrase? Was it to mock their children? I mean, it should never have been called filial piety in the first place. At least you're going to Great Britain soon. Might not come up much there. Now, what was the point of fading to black there? I'm not sure I understand that creative choice. Well, anyway. Having lost that accursed contest, I came out to you to ask you a question. How is it that you never trip up on your words? I inquired, with an E. Stupid way of spelling inquired. Sorry. You just gave me a broad smile and said, speaking fast is my hobby. I mean, really, what kind of a hobby is that? Think you could take your hand off of your sword? And then he did. Oh, that's really good. Besides, it's just a way to pass the time. My parents must think I'm insane sitting in my room by myself, just saying filial piety over and over. After that, he started talking at me. I mean, it's fitting for him. I guess I was in character. After that, you started talking at me 10 to the dozen, like you were possessed almost. Honestly, you can't imagine the shock I suffered that day. You really can't. You're right. I really can't. Damn! Okay, but that's deserved. That's deserved.
Speaking fast is just the sort of hobby I'd expect a civilian like you to waste his time on.
Okay, asshole. Jeez Lapeets. Well, you have to practice, of course, but there are some simple things to start with. Like this famous one, for example. Swift samurai sword swipes silently sideways. I think, honestly, okay, I've thought about it. I think that doing an accent makes it easier to read, for me. I don't know why. It's weird. Maybe it's just because my brain has to focus on pronouncing it correctly. Or what I think is correctly. That may not be a very good accent, but it makes it where I pay more attention, maybe? I don't know. That's just a game theory. Speech theory. Ah, yes, even a decrepit tongue in an ailing frame such as mine can find its way around that one. I've no doubt. It's just a bit of fun, really. I can't imagine anybody would struggle to say it. Even though I just struggled to say that sentence, and that's out of character. Isn't that right, Kazuma? Oh my gosh. Oh, this is evil. This is bullying. He is bullying him now. Oh no, and instead of being embarrassed, he's determined. Oh no, poor thing. Please don't mess it up, I beg you. Swift samurai sword. How did he mess up on the second word? Dude. This poor guy. This poor little fella. Blabbering mess by word 2.
It's not just the samurai. Every good soldier needs to be able to handle a sword.
That is so irrelevant.
That's why I've been busy teaching Ido the finer points of sword play. None of this wordplay nonsense, Private.
Oh, but in doing that, you've done wordplay. In doing that, I believe. That is wordplay. Come to think of it, not long after that, we started to attend lectures together, didn't we? That's so cute. It's almost enemies to lovers situation. And we got into that debate about family values at the Sukiyaki place on campus. Do you remember? Oh, how riveting. Yes, your argument was full of jokes and puns and wordplays, as usual. I remember it well. Oh, was it? In any case, I swore that I would never let myself forget the shock you gave me back then. As a symbol of how seriously I took that oath, I decided to wear this. My red Hakimaki headband. Sorry, Kazuma. Yes. You've lost me there, I'm afraid. I don't see the link. What does your red hand... Wow. What does your red headband have to do with your oath? Because it will always remind me of that smug look on your face as you uttered those tantalizing words. What words? You mean another tongue twister? I practiced and practiced until my tongue bled. How? How do you make your tongue bleed? By talking. Gosh. But in the end I mastered it. Mastered what? Well, I think it's time you heard this, actually. Listen carefully now. Here goes. Red headband, lead headband, dead headband. There! Word perfect, see? Oh, and they play his triumphant music. Oh, beautiful. Good job, man. You killed it, but Bruno doesn't seem impressed for some reason. Wonder what might be wrong. Oh no! The baby isn't impressed either. I'd actually been meaning to ask you about that. About the story behind your headband, I mean. Well, now you know. So that I'll never forget the shock and humiliation of that day. Kazuma, it was a speech contest. It's okay. You're like, you don't need to remind yourself of the shock you went through because you got messed up on a tongue twister, man. Just chill.
That's why I wear this red headband every single day without fail.
Well, I don't know exactly how much of a shock you think you had back then, but okay. Okay, Ryunosuke, damn. Can't be more than the shock you've just given me now.
What do you mean? Was I that good?
Well, I'm sorry to have to tell you, but the tongue twister I said didn't go the way you seem to have remembered it.
Huh?
Huh. It's just as famous as Swift Samurai Sword, so I can't believe you don't know it, really. It goes, red bread pan, lead bread pan, dead bread man.
Wait, what?
Red. Seems I've knocked some wind. It seems I've knocked some wind out of that headband of yours.
Does it? I see the same amount of wind as always. It's not too late, Private. You can always start wearing a red bread pan on your head instead.
Oh, that's evil. This is bullying. We are bullying Kazuma. He doesn't deserve this. Your youthful vigor is manifest, young man. Your cheeks are glowing redder than your Makimaki. Aw, poor guy.
Why do so many words have to be so similar?
So, looking forward to Great Britain then? Will you have to deliver speeches in court in English?
Suppose I can always shell sea cells on the seashore.
Oh no, and he didn't realize he got it wrong either. Was that it? That was shorter than I remembered. Yeah, okay. So that's the end of that one. I hope you enjoyed it. I hate that it was that short. I thought it was a little bit longer than that, so that stinks. But, stick around if you want some more. And yeah, I will see you at the beginning of the next part.